What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. Where is my screen gone? Oh dear, just before I start. Oh no, not this again. Oh dear. Just before I started, my stream crashed. And now it's doing this thing where I can't open anything. But I don't know if I close it, what's going to happen. I can't click anything. Oh, what a start. Audio is really low as well. Ah, what has happened? I literally can't click anything. I'm going to have to close it and hope the stream doesn't end. We might be back. There we go. There we go. What a start. What a start. Audio is fine. What a start. Did I fix it or is it? No, it's just temporarily fixed. Good. I'm sure it'll break at some point during the stream. That's a fantastic start. It's to go with the Nightmare Game Week that we all seem to be having. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for joining. It has been a while since we've streamed. My mic shouldn't be low. It's no different to... No different to any other day. So, yeah. But yes, to go with the chaotic game week that we are having. We haven't streamed for a few weeks because we've had a weekend of no FPL last weekend because of the FA Cup. But we are back. We have one game week to go now, and then we have another 2.5 week break until game week 22. But that does not mean FPL is not full of issues, dilemmas, and particularly flags. But today we'll go through my team. We've had a double game week announced. We'll talk about potential hits. We'll talk about the transfers I'm considering making. We'll answer all of your questions as well. But before we do that, let's say hello to a few of you in today. There are almost 1,000. There are 1,000 of you in, and there are 100 likes on the stream already. So welcome to the stream. You're saying the mic is, a few of you saying the mic is low. Some of you saying it's fine. Some of you saying it's low. I mean, I literally can't click anything. My streaming... mic is fine. I'll just stop worrying about it then. I'll stop worrying about it, or I'll shout. One of the two. Oh, it was just opening on another screen. What was it? I don't know. Hang on. How do I... the whole computer is... Anyway, say hello. Let's get on with it. Immortal, Nathan, Alejandro, David, Chelsea, Nate, Richard, Nor1, Robert, Sar, Frank, Peter, Slim, Louis, Weir, FTK, Anik, Mr. Was Up, Charlie, Ben. Who else have we got? Vasilos, Hossam, Blue Boy, Santo, Nawaf, Cheekster, FPL Alexander Arnold, Pals, Ram, Tony, Andrew, welcome, Rhinus, FWB, Nick, Ellis, Durav, Nick. Hello to you all. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. So those of you who know, I always join the stream with, I always have a bottle of water and a glass of water and a cup of tea, but I don't drink enough water. So I am trying to drink 2 liters of water every day now. You know, one of those classic January resolutions. So I'm on the 2 liters of water during these streams. But yeah, anyway, Nathan, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So this is my team. Some have said this is their first time tuning in and they're excited. I apologize for the start to this stream. It has been not exactly as I'd planned. But my team is like this. I have 2 free transfers and just under $1 million in the bank. My plan of Son out, Foden in has not changed, particularly with the double game week being announced. So for anyone who is unaware, we have a double game week for Manchester City that has been confirmed in game week 25. So here is a useful graphic from FPL Focal Oscar. Game week 25, Manchester City will have Chelsea at home and Brentford at home is their 2 fixtures. Liverpool at home, Man City away for Brentford. So Phil Foden becomes even more popular because of that double and the fixtures that they have between now and then. So the plan is to do Son out and Phil Foden in. It does make life a little bit more difficult to go and get Erling Haaland back next week. I do have a plan for it, but you know, Pep was pretty quick to rule him out for the weekend. So is it possible that he's not even back by game week 22? I mean, it's possible. It is possible for sure that he's not going to be back by then. But I do definitely need a plan for it, which is why I want to roll the second transfer. The reason I also want to roll the second transfer, I know I've banged home about it in my videos this week, is we get so much information between game week 21 and 22. The rest of the season will look so much clearer in terms of doubles and blanks by the game week 22 deadline. We have the next round of the Cup. We have the Carabao Cup final as a Carabao Cup semi-finals. The final will be decided by the game week 22 deadline. So we will know who's going to blank in game week 26. We will almost certainly know if Liverpool are going to double in game week 25, which we still predict to be the case, to go in there alongside the Manchester City double game week. We also will know the probabilities of teams blanking in game week 29, which is the biggest double of the biggest blank of the season, because there'll only be one round of the Cup left between game week 22 and the game week 29 blank. So we will literally be able to say, well, Man City have, let's say Man City beat Spurs and then get, I don't know who's left in the Cup, but they get someone straightforward from a lower league, and you think, well, Manchester City are guaranteed or almost guaranteed to blank in that week. We'll have some teams guaranteeing to play in that week, and that will impact our future decisions. So if you have the ability to, now I know most of you don't fall into the category or the camp where thinking about rolling a transfer is an idea this week, but if you can do it, I definitely would advise it. Haaland is listed out till January 21st on FPL. Is that confirmed? So Pep said today that he's not available for tomorrow. So they don't play in the Premier League again until the 31st. That's why the FPL website says that, right? They're not going to put back in 2 weeks when there's no game. The return date is based off their assumption of when he'll be back for the next Premier League Manchester City game. They think, at the moment, we think he'll be back for Burnley at home, but it's not impossible that he's still out by then. I think he'll be back by then. Those asking about captaincy options this week, I think I might need to... I mean, captaincy is quite difficult. I wouldn't necessarily captain anyone in that Man City-Newcastle game. I don't think that game is too easy to call. So, what's up with Ivan Toney captaincy? Is it guaranteed back 90 minutes? I mean, without Visa and without Mbumo, I'd be surprised if he doesn't play 90 unless they're 2 or 3-0 up. Then they might think, okay, he's just back. But right now, I think Ivan Toney will, should. I really like Ivan Toney this week. I really like Ivan Toney this week. Any thoughts on Sterling? I'm not certain Sterling's going to start, to be honest. I'm not certain if Sterling will start this game. My prediction doesn't have Sterling in it, but it is just a prediction. Bowen is a keep. I mean, as I said in my video today, if you can keep him for 1 week, then yes, do it. But he might not be back in game week 23, in game week 22. And if he is back, he's also playing without Paqueta, and he's also playing without Kudus as well. So even if he is back, he is playing with a much weakened West Ham team. So right now, I think Bowen is an easier. I think Bowen's an easier sell if you're looking at trying to decide who to sell. Because even if he is back, he becomes a little bit of an issue because of those other West Ham injuries, in my opinion. Livramento or -4 for a Estupiñán. I'd take the hit because I don't think Livramento will start that game. And he'll be an issue for you every single week going forward as well. So I would just rip the Band-Aid off. If you're, wondering, do I play a player who's not guaranteed to start or take a hit? I'd probably take the hit because you have that issue every week now. And that we're getting to the point where every game week, you're going to have transfers you want to make because of the doubles and blanks. Will Gusto start? I think Gusto will start. Any news on Pau Torres? Pau Torres was said to be back in training. Charlie Taylor, on the other hand, Vincent Kompany literally said, I have been told not to comment on injuries, which is, I mean, fair enough for the honesty, but it's also very annoying for us when some of us are relying on Charlie Taylor. I personally don't think we're going to see Charlie Taylor in the team tonight. But I don't know anything. Sell Salah or Bowen. I'd sell Bowen before I sell Salah because Salah you want back at some point, whereas Bowen, I do wonder if his time in the limelight of our FPL teams has come to an end a little bit. Is Solanke worth keeping for a few weeks? Yes, he is. I do wonder if we'll end up selling Solanke when Tony has his double. I know it's not great, but for example, if Brentford, let's just get Tony. So if, for example, this is why the cut results are really interesting, because if Brentford get to game week 29 and they have that fixture against Burnley, they don't blank in 26 and they have a double in 25. Suddenly Brentford have more fixtures than every other team in this run between 25 and 29. So something I'll talk a little bit more about in my chip strategy videos I've got coming up is about not just looking at individual game weeks now. You need to look at a group of game weeks, because if you buy a City player, or let's say Liverpool double in 25 and blank in 26, if you buy a Liverpool player because they double in 25, but then you only put out 10 players in game week 26, you're no better off. You've got the same total number of fixtures in game week 25 and game week 26, because yes, you get an extra double in 25, but you put out one less player in game week 26, so you're no better off. However, I need to get the FA Cup fixtures up. Let me get that. Brentford have a replay. Are Burnley out? Did Burnley go out the FA Cup? What? Yeah, they lost to Spurs. So Burnley are out. Brentford have a replay, right? So Spurs beat Burnley in the, yeah, Porro wonder goal. So, for example, if Tony gets a fixture in game week 25, they double in 25, he plays in 26, and let's say Brentford also go out the cup, they play in 29, everyone will buy Tony. He'll be so popular because he'll have an extra fixture on pretty much every single team. If that makes sense. A few super chats. I do apologise. Let me get to them. I was getting heated about double game week, blank game week chip strategy. It always gets me riled up. Any chance Mubama and Taylor play? Mubama might get minutes. I don't think we get Taylor. What teams will likely blank in 26? So 26 is caused by the final of the Carabao Cup, which is the Chelsea Middlesbrough, Liverpool Fulham games. It is predicted still that Chelsea Liverpool will be the final, which means Spurs and Luton will also blank their opponents in game week 26. You stupidly got Bowen in pre-injury. Do -4 him out, given I'd want to move him out next game week anyway. You have Foden already. Gross. I don't know if you've got someone on your bench to cover Burn, but I probably would sell him. Yeah, I just go early on it. Bench Gusto or Moreno? Probably Moreno. Kevin De Bruyne or Foden? I know the comments from Pep today were quite positive around De Bruyne, but I'm not certain at all on starts for him yet. So, yeah. I'm telling you, if Ivan... who do Brentford / who did they get in the next round of the Cup? Who did they get? They got West Brom away. I mean, fine. They got to get through their replay, and then they've got to get through that, and then another round. And if they don't get through, then Tony's going to be so popular. He'll be so popular. All eyes on that replay. All eyes on that replay. Who'll go for him? I don't know, because Watkins might also be useful, because in 29 they've got West Ham. They play in 26. And West Ham have a replay in the Cup away at Bristol. And if they get through that, don't they have the Forest? Yeah, they have Forest Blackpool. So it might be that the front line going forward is Watkins, Tony, Solanke. Watkins, Tony, Haaland even. Cunha or João Pedro? Probably João Pedro. I think you get enough points short term that even if João Pedro becomes an issue further down the line, I'd rather get the points now. Alex, sorry. Yeah, we did that. It's Mo. Thank you for the super chat. Salah to Foden as last game week finish got Bowen, Son, Trent, Livramento. I wouldn't wildcard. If I was to take hits, who should I prioritise? You've got Bowen, Son, Trent, Livramento. I mean, I'd take Bowen and Son out probably. Unless you need a defender, then Livramento. But I take Son out first, then Bowen, then Livramento. Heroics, I apologise. Oh, start Pau Torres or Archer. To be honest, I'd probably play Archer. That West Ham team with all the injuries they've got, I just not sure how good they'll be. Just not sure how good they will be. Who would I trade in my defence for a Stupinan? Right now, probably Gabriel. But I'm not sure it's worth it. Best one game week forward punt, Ivan Toney. Nice jacket. Thank you. It's a little, flannel overshirt. I wear a lot of them. I might not wear them on stream, but I wear them all the time. So. Show me the moves. Right. Let me... Yeah, Gabriel is the defender that I look at that is very expendable at the moment. Like, the fixtures coming up are just not great. After Palace, after Palace, I don't dislike the idea of going him to a Stupinan. The only caveat is game week. I know it's a long way away, but the blank in 29, Brighton are almost guaranteed to blank because they play City that week. Whereas if Chelsea go out, Arsenal are already out, so they could play that week. But it might be time to do that. Thoughts on Bowen to Gross? Hi Ben, how we doing? Thoughts on Bowen to Gross this game week, Trippier to Stupinan next week, then take a hit when Haaland's back by Alvarez, Solanke to Haaland and Jimenez. Well, I like those moves, but what happens if he's back in 22? Then is that a -8? But yeah, I do like Gross. He's one of my top midfielders this week. Is Haaland playing? No. How's it going doing this full time? It's going well, thank you. A combination of not many game weeks with a lot of chaos is an interesting baptism of fire that I've got. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it, thank you. So my transfers are, so let me show you. My plan this week is to do Son to Foden and roll the second transfer. Okay. Got to bear with me with these transfers. Let me talk you through the whole plan. Game week 22. Pep said Haaland's not going to be available. Bowen, I don't think Bowen will play. But we, in theory, haven't had a press conference to confirm that. We just had news articles. Zinchenko, I doubt Zinchenko will play, but he might. He's away on training camp at the moment. Gabriel Jesus has been pictured in that training camp. So, if I could get rid of Solanke, would I? Absolutely not. Charlie Taylor, I don't expect to see play either this week. So game week 22, I will have 2 transfers. It says I've only got 1, but I will have 2. Then the plan next week is to Alvarez and Salah out. Yes, the plan is to sell Salah next week, and I will tell you why. Haaland and probably Alejandro Garnacho. There is a reason behind the madness. Garnacho, in game week 26, the blank has Fulham at home. And if it looks like they might have a fixture in game week 29, they have Sheffield United at home. They have the best game week 26 and 29 fixtures added together. And he's very cheap. So that's the plan. To do that, Haaland would come back in, then I'd have no Salah. But bear with me. And you're probably wondering, why Garnacho? Because I need to buy Salah back. Game week 23, we're not expecting Salah back. My team looks pretty nice for game week 23. Trippier at home to Luton. I'd probably play Trent. But it might be worth doing Gabriel out for a hit, because that week Brighton have Palace at home. But anyway, if Trent's not going to be back, if Trent's back, then I don't need it. I'll roll the transfer that week. My team looks pretty nice in game week 23. Absolutely fine. Game week 24 is when we expect Salah back, right? Oh, Salah in and Trippier probably out. It could be Porro out. It could also be Gabriel out just. But if I do Trippier out, hang on. I need to leave $1 million in the bank. I mean, at the moment, if I do a Stupinan, it leaves me 0.9 in the bank. But interestingly, do you know what 0.9 leaves me? Almost. Solanke to Ivan Toney in game week 25. Leaves me 0.1 short, but Salah will surely drop in price. So this would be my team for game week 25. of course, we'd have doubles for City, we'd have doubles for Liverpool, and we'd have doubles for Ivan Toney as well. How to feel about Rashford? I have absolutely no reason to go Rashford over Garnacho. I don't think I'll change my captaincy this week. So that's the plan. If I don't have a spare transfer, I just won't get Toney. Like, I'll just leave Solanke in there. Because I could always bench him this week. Because I've just got, like, Garnacho away at Luton that week anyway. So, it looks nice. The plan works. And I take no hits, which I feel like is a crazy advantage. Now, then going into game week 26, let's say I do the Toney move as well. Game week 26, I'll have Salah will blank. I'll have Trent blanking. I will have Porro blanking. And I'll have Palmer blanking. So I will have... I will have 10 players with a transfer. And I'm not even sure necessarily who I'm missing. If Porro's going to play in 29, then maybe he stays. If not, maybe he could go. Does Palmer go if he's going to blank in 26 and in 29? Maybe. Maybe. If not, I just play with 10. Like, it's not the end of the world in a blank to play with 10 players. Because I will want Trent, Salah, Porro, Palmer long term, probably. So that's the plan. The plan this week is one transfer, which will be Foden in. What team's blank in 26? So it's the Carabao Cup final. So we don't know yet because they have to play their second leg. They have to play the second leg of the Cup, of the semi-finals. But it is predicted to be a Liverpool-Chelsea final, which is then Spurs, and it is Luton blanking as well, which is part of the reason I don't want to go Richarlison this week. A lot of questions. Well, Richarlison is a great short-term option. I really think he is. But, I mean, there's a chance that they put the Spurs double in game week 25, but I doubt it. I think the general prediction is that the Chelsea-Spurs game, if they blank in 26, doesn't go into 25. Because Chelsea-Spurs have so many midweeks that they could just throw it in anywhere, basically, because they're not in Europe. So if you're buying Richarlison for United away, Brentford at home, Everton, I mean, like, it's not bad, but then you get to 26 and blank. So, like, it's just adding another blank player in 26 is my issue. Am I going to play Alvarez? I mean, I'm going to play double City attack against Trippier, yeah. I am. Double City against double Newcastle. Yeah, I am. Taking a -4 already. Team is Porro, Taylor, Stupinan, Gusto. Take a -8 for Taylor out and who for? I mean, you've already got a Stupinan. I mean, if it gives you an extra player, then yes. Yes, I would. Who would I buy, though? I mean, is a Brentford defender the worst idea? Their double's pretty horrific in 20... The double's pretty horrific in 25 for defensive point of view, though. You've got 4 defenders. Can you not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you not take a hit to sell an attacker and just leave Taylor on your bench? Because there aren't many defenders that I think are worth a hit this week that aren't a Stupinan. So I wouldn't take a hit to sell Taylor, but I would take a hit to sell someone else and bench Taylor. Is Bowen starting? So, an update of the injury news for you all. Who do you want injury news for in case I forget someone? Bowen, we have no update for. I'd be surprised if we see Bowen start. Trent, again, very surprised if we see any minutes from either of those two. Haaland, Pep said today, Haaland's not ready. Taylor, we have nothing. I'm not expecting to see him. Gabriel Jesus has been pictured in training, so he should be okay. Zinchenko is away with the team, but he wasn't pictured the other day. I would worry if Zinchenko was first sub for you, but we don't. Zinchenko's a complete guess. Jesus pictured. KDB, don't buy KDB. Pet said that he's looking better, but I don't think it's time to be starting. Don't think it's time to be buying KDB. Pau Torres, they said, was back in team training this week, so potentially that means we think he's going to start. So does Foden play twice in the double? So for me, when De Bruyne comes back in, he comes back in for Alvarez, not in for Haaland, not in for Foden. And they play Foden out on the right with Bernardo Silva as well. Alvarez in on the bench. Haaland, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and then Grealish or Doku. Is my idea of what will happen when they're all back. That's my prediction. So a front three of... Keep hitting my mic. Front three of Grealish / Doku, Haaland, Foden / Bernardo Silva. Then midfield of Foden / Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Rodri. Is my prediction. Shaw to Purvis -4 or play Shaw, have Dubravka. Is Purvis worth a hit? If you need a defender next week again, then yes, I probably would take a hit because over the next two, he's definitely better. Any Taylor news? Nothing. Will Taylor play? I doubt it. Chill. Am I taking Son out? Yes. Son to Foden is the plan. Son to Foden is the plan. Bowen out for 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because we haven't had a press conference, it's in theory possible that he turns up on... It's in theory possible that he turns up, but I highly doubt it. I do wonder if I should just start Trent, though. Because what's the chances of Trent... Apparently the Trent injury every time we get an update isn't as bad as we fear. But then he might be on the bench. Gusto thoughts. He's fine, but I don't expect him to start. Sorry, Gusto's fine, but Gusto's a good pick for this week. I expect him to start. Sorry, I read one question out and answered a different one. Taylor, I don't expect to start. Gusto, I do expect to start. There we go. Mubama to Tony for a -8 to bench Taylor. Yes, I probably would do that. I mean, it's not actually a -8. That transfer itself is a -4. You have to look at each transfer individually. It might put your team on a -8, but that transfer itself is a -4. That transfer itself is a -4. Sell Bowen to Foden. Bowen to Foden. Yes, I would sell Bowen if I've got him. One sec. Do I play Trippier or Harry Toffolo? Who do Forest have? Brentford away. I mean, probably Trippier. Probably Trippier. I know people are not loving Newcastle right now, and nor am I, but they've been okay. They've been okay. Is Tony guaranteed to start? I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Be very surprised. It's not like he's lacking fitness. He's just been, running around for 6 months. He's chomping at the bit to get on the pitch. Bench 1 out of Gusto, Gordon, Saliba, and Gabriel. Probably Gordon. Right, let me add some hot topics in. So, Bowen. I'd say he's a major doubt. Trent out for a few weeks. Pep says Haaland is out. They're the main ones. Let's put that in. Let's get that circulating around at the top. Any others? No update on Taylor provided. Cool. That should do it. Start Sterling. I'm not sure he does start, but I mean, not many of us are in the luxury position. Not many of us are in the luxury position where they actually get to decide on who they start this week. If you've got a bench, Harry put Haaland to the bench. I don't have Haaland. I don't think Haaland's going to get any minutes by the sound of it. Any Brentford players you would bring in for double 25 besides Tony? Besides Tony, no. Tony is definitely one I'm looking at. Do I think Ferguson is going to Chelsea? I mean, I doubt it, but it's possible. Son to Foden and Gordon to Gross. I'm not sure I do Gordon to Gross. Not sure it's worth a transfer this week. I'm definitely not doing it. Am I keeping Mo Salah? Am I going to sell him? I'm going to keep him for this week, but I might well sell going into game week 22. Beth, thank you for joining as a mid-tier member. Drop me a message on Instagram or Twitter and I'll get you all the links you need to the community and to the members-only content as well. Son to Foden and Bowen to Gross or Gordon. Son to Foden and Bowen to Gross or Gordon. If I was buying new, I'd buy Gross, but I don't think I'd do... I wouldn't do Gordon to Gross, but I would buy Gross over Gordon. Rolling that second transfer is much more important this week than that difference in Gross and Gordon, in my opinion. Now, Gross might outscore Gordon by 4, and then it might pay off yourself, but rolling the transfer devalued with the double game week announcement, not at all. Not at all. Because we'll also get cup fixtures. Okay, maybe it went from, a 10 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10, but not significantly devalued. Because you've got the FA Cup, so we'll know the possibility of who blanks in 29, we'll know who blanks in 26, and we'll know if Liverpool are going to double in 25. Plus, if they're going to do something with the Chelsea-Spurs fixture, we'll know that as well. There's so much to learn. Plus, we'll know how Salah and Egypt are doing at the African Cup of Nations as well. So, no, I don't think that announcement massively changes whether you should roll a transfer or not this week. Would I do Chris Wood to Tony, Son to Richarlison, Gross? Can't afford Foden. I'm not sure I'd do Chris Wood to Tony. Feels like a waste of a transfer this week. I like Tony, but I don't see many worlds where he's worth a transfer for you. Am I going to sell Salah to get Haaland next week? Yeah, so thank you all for joining. There are 3,000 of you in and watching. If you haven't liked the stream already, there are only 400 likes on the stream. 2,600 if you haven't. If you haven't liked already, if you could, that would be great. And subscribe as well. We're on the road for 100k by the end of the season. We are 7,500 away from hitting 100k. So maybe by the end of the season. Maybe by the end of the season. Would I captain Saka or Palmer? My captaincy armband is on Bukayo Saka, fella. Son for Jota or Gordon? I wouldn't buy either, to be honest. If I had to buy one, I'd buy Gordon. I think Jota is too much of a risk with minutes going forward. I think it's too much of a risk. Is Richarlison a good choice? He's good. He's not my favourite choice. He's not my favourite choice. There are others that I would definitely pick over him this week. Because United also have quite a few injury returnees this week. They've got Casemiro back. They've got Martinez in defence back as well. Eriksen is also... So, yeah. Sorry, one sec. Will Osula start? I doubt it. He might get minutes, but I doubt he starts. Does Tony start? I think so. Who would I get for Son? Already got Foden and Palmer. I mean, maybe Saka, or you go to Garnacho, because Garnacho is going to be very popular next week with their Man United fixtures looking like they do. Burn to Foden for a hit. If it adds an extra player that you're putting out this week, then yes. I'd still probably also do it for a hit, given the double game week being announced as well, to be honest. Son to Gordon or Foden? Foden. Don't buy a Stupinan if it means you have to bench someone this week. Hits are only worth it this week if you have 10 men. I'm just waiting to... I've got 2 transfers, so I'm definitely making a transfer. And I'm 99% sure. I'm 100% sure, unless we get told some random news between now and the deadline, that I would do Son to Foden. I don't think there's anything we're going to learn between now and the deadline, but you never know. But if we hear nothing, which is the prediction, so there's a 95% chance we hear no update on anything between now and the deadline. And in that 95% chance, there's a 99% chance that I do Son to Foden. So you have Solanke, Udogie and Trippier on the bench. Bowen in. A hit for transfer or play one of those. Please don't bench Solanke this week. Don't bench Solanke this week. Just play Solanke. It's crazy that you've got that good a squad depth. Stupinan and Foden on -4 to get gross. Archer start on -4 to get gross. Stupinan and Foden. I'm not sure I completely get the question though. Play 10, roll the transfer and learn more about Trent. I mean, I take a hit elsewhere because even if that extra 11th player scores 2 points, that's paid off half of the hit already. What's your advice to pick? You have Saka, Palmer and Gross. Well, then definitely Phil Foden is my number 1 pick. Phil Foden is going to hit like 70% ownership this week. He's going to hit like 70% ownership this week. We have Livramento or Taylor starting. I mean, I'd start Taylor. I don't think he's going to play, and I'm not sure you'll get many points from Livramento either. So, I mean, that's not a great recommendation of either, but I'm not sure you get many minutes. Dowser, thank you for joining as a base tier member. Welcome to the channel. Does Taylor or Doughty make sense? Taylor to Doughty, yes. But just bear in mind that you're buying a defender who's going to blank in game week 26 most likely. So what does it do? What does it do for your team? Any news on Darwin starting? Absolutely none. They don't play for a week. Yeah, I mean, I expect him to start, but we don't actually know. Bulldog versus Trippier this game week. I'd play Trippier. Is Tony a good punt this week, or should I go Alvarez for Nkunku? I mean, it depends what you think of. If Haaland's going to be back in 22, I'd just go Tony. Personally. Saka or Foden for Salah? Foden. Foden is a better long-term pick than Saka is. Although Saka might be better this week, Foden is better for the long term. Is Foden a captaincy option? I still don't think away at Newcastle is a fixture I want to captain someone in. Maybe if Haaland was fit, I would, just based off lack of other options. But I'm not, no. A captaincy away at Newcastle is not one I want. Could I not do Garnacho this week? Then you might not have to sell Salah, saving the transfer to downgrade a defender. But I want Foden. Like, I want Foden now for the double. And I don't think Son to Garnacho gives me enough. If I did Son to Garnacho, the thing is, Garnacho will gain popularity. Garlic, apparently it's autocorrected too. Garnacho will gain popularity if we think they're going to play in game week 29, which is the blank. So that's part of the reason I don't want to necessarily go to Garnacho straight away. Foden has the blank. Doesn't give me enough money. I'd have to free up 1.5. I mean, I could do Trippier to a Stupinan, I suppose. I could do that. I mean, that does work. And then, what? Saka to Foden when I want Foden. I mean, it does work. But I much prefer Foden to Garnacho this week. And I might just end up with both anyway next week. With Haaland out so long, won't he likely come back off the bench in 22? So it's better to keep ours 22 and bring Haaland. No, we may well see Haaland. Like, he could be on the bench in the Cup, for example, and then start in the league. So I don't think we can just read straight into that. Nope, I don't. It does work, this. What does it look like for my... I just don't... I think I want Foden. I'm also going to... The value on Foden is going to go up and up. You don't have Trent or Bowen. You have the same midfield as me. Would it benefit me to roll also? Yes. I do Son to Foden. So hang on. If I... Let me reset all. Let's say I do Son to... I mean, my plan doesn't involve a hit anyway. I think this must just be one less transfer, though. Son to Garnacho, where is he? 4.8. And in 20 here, we do Alvarez. But the other negative with this is I don't get to keep Trippier for Luton at home. I don't get to keep Trippier for that Luton at home game. And it means I'll have to start. It's not the end of the world, but I'll have to start Gabriel or... I mean, I probably would be doing that anyway. But I wouldn't have Foden for Burnley at home either. Wouldn't have Foden for Burnley at home either. What would I do? So this is 23. I'd roll again and then I'd do I mean, it is less transfers. If I did, hang on. I'm guessing in 22, if I was to keep... That's annoying. It's just short of that. If I could afford that, then I would really consider it. But watch Foden, Blank and Garnacho score. It's worth considering. João Pedro in for a hit to bench Archer. Yes, I would do that. Play Archer so you don't have to take a -8. I mean, I think João Pedro outscores Archer by 4 points, to be honest. So, do I think Gusto will start? Yes. Gross or Garnacho? I mean, I prefer Gross, but Garnacho is a Garnacho is a better enabler. So it depends what it might allow you to do with your team in a couple of weeks or something like that. But yeah, prefer oh, my phone's not charging. Why is that? Oh, there it is. Sorry, I prefer Gross to Garnacho, but Garnacho allows you to do more. But yeah, with the money, you know, there's $1.5 million between the two. Would I sell Salah and Son? My plan is to sell both. My plan is to sell both. Why captain Saka with his poor run of form? I just saw that Arsenal team away with the travelling, you know, getting ready to come back, and redemption is on its way. I feel like with that Arsenal team, looking at them training in their nice warm summer holidays. So hang on, I want to explore this a little bit more. If I do Son to Garnacho this week. No, but it's the same. If I do Son to Foden this week, then in here I could do bang. I could take a hit if I wanted to keep Salah. And I do Alvarez to Haaland. Saka to... Garnacho. Where is he? 4.8. There he is. And then it would be a -4, and I would just probably sell Gabriel because I don't see much use of Arsenal after this week. And then I'd have 4-3 for a defender. I mean, Gusto is there. It might be like Van Heck or something. Anyway. Saka or Son for Salah. Saka or Foden. Saka if you want to captain him, if not Foden. I'd probably just go straight to Foden. Would I do Son to Foden for a hit to play Foden and bench share? Yes, because you'll want Foden for the double. So it'll be a transfer you make anyway. Odegaard or Foden for this game week? I mean, if it was this game week alone, I still probably would say Odegaard based on the fixture. But if I'm buying one this week, I'm buying Foden because he's better for the long term. Best very cheap defender. I mean, Van Heck maybe. The Brighton fixtures are really nice. If you've got more money, then like Alfie Doughty, but probably Van Heck if you need a really cheap one. Start Gusto or Sterling or Archer. Well, definitely not Archer. Gusto or Sterling. Maybe I'd probably just take the chance that Sterling does start. Maguire could be a steal. It's true if we expect him back. Oh, am I on the telly? Oh, I am. It's I'm on the telly. So I'm late. You have Haaland. Not going to sell now. Would I start him in case you have Solanke first sub? No, I'd probably just... I'd probably play Solanke. Play one, bench the other. Bulldog or Trippier. I'd play Trippier. Is it worth starting Trent and having Porro at first sub? I mean, I'm considering it. But the only thing is, what happens if Trent's on the bench, which is possible? So, I'm not sure it is worth it. But I probably should. Trent... Son to Foden or Son to Saka? Looking at the other things, then probably Foden. The other permutations of that. Play one and bench the other. Bulldog versus Trippier. Yeah, Trippier over Bulldog. Colwill or Estupiñán and Tony or Solanke. I mean, if I was... Would I rather buy... I'd probably buy Tony over Solanke this week. Now the double's being confirmed. Colwill or Estupiñán. Estupiñán, definitely. Estupiñán, definitely. Already have Saka and already have Odegaard. Should I get Saka for Son? I mean, I probably wouldn't double up on Arsenal mids if you've already got one. Gabriel or Doughty. If I had to play one this week, I'd probably just play Doughty. Will Zinchenko play? I wouldn't take the... If he's your only defender, I'm not sure. I think I'd sell Zinchenko for a hit by Estupiñán. When am I planning on wildcarding? Not till about game week 30 to 33 is the current prediction of wildcard. After the game week 29 blanks. Foden, I'd buy Foden before a Richarlison for sure. For sure. Would I take a -4 to do Son to Saka? If it allows you to put out an extra player, yes. Where is this Trent possibly on the bench stuff coming from? Nowhere. The only thing is, like, I feel like every time we hear about them, the injury gets less and less. The game, I suppose it's only a week away, isn't it, right? I suppose it's only a week away. Yeah, he's not going to be on the bench, is he? Most of the people going for Palmer as a captain, but I don't believe in him. Let's put a captaincy poll in. Captaincy poll. Saka. Palmer. Other. Let's put Man City option. Because people might be going there. Some Tony shouts in the chat. Adam, for sure I am. For sure. Best points weeks are the ones where I don't make any transfers. I mean, it can be because, you know, trust in the players you bought for a reason. Please, should I do Mubama to Tony and captain Tony? So I like captaining Tony this week. Would I bring myself to do it if I owned him? Or would owning him be a differential enough? I do really like Tony this week. I think it's a nice fixture. I think he'll be back with a vengeance. It depends what your risk appetite is. Everyone plays FPL a little bit differently. If you're a safe manager, then buy Tony, but you can captain Saka. But if you like, you know, if you're a risky manager and you like a little bit of, you know, fire, then Ivan Tony. Yeah. Nottingham Forest don't have any players left after they've... It's true. They had like 6 players go to the African Cup of Nations. Start Porro or Colwill. Probably Porro. Don't get the hype with Saka. 1 return in the last few run of games. His data's been pretty good. And I saw pictures of them out in their warm weather training. They're going to come back after 2 weeks away. Home fixture. Plus his data, 1 XG against Fulham. I know he had a big tap in, right? But 0.5 against West Ham. 0.94 expected returns against Brighton. 0.5 against Villa, 0.5 against Luton, 1 against Wolves, 0.5 against Brighton. It is slightly more weighted towards assists, but I just saw those pictures and thought that's gonna be, they're gonna be back with a bang, I think, in a few weeks. Thoughts on De Bruyne? I wouldn't be buying him. It's too much for the amount of risk you've got with him not starting games. I plan on keeping Salah this week. Plan on keeping Salah this week. 1 hour to go until the deadline. Bowen to Saka and bench Gordon. Bowen to Saka and bench Gordon. If it's for free, yes. You don't have Saka, but I have Odegaard. Would I captain Odegaard? If I didn't have Saka, would I captain Odegaard? Probably not. I'd probably put the armband on. Cole Palmer in that situation. And Nkunku out for Pedro or Tony. It will just keep. I'd sell Nkunku for sure. It depends what it like the rest of your squad structure. Probably prefer Tony given the double now. So I'm captaining Saka after a glowing Dubai photo. Pretty much. Also, just the Chelsea game midweek just worried me a little bit. Palace have to play a cup replay just before they play Arsenal. On Wednesday, they play Everton away in the cup. It's not ideal for them. I know Fulham have just played away, but so have Chelsea. Have Sterling, 2 free transfers. Foden in for Son. Do I take out Sterling to have Salah as well, or should I roll? I'd probably take the chance on Sterling, but I'm not certain he's going to start. Son to Foden and Bowen to Gross. Yes, I like them. Or roll Bowen. If Bowen doesn't play, I probably would roll. I think there's just so much information that might change whether you want to buy Gross versus others. Never bat the early fixture. I mean, both captain shouts are early fixtures. Like, no Palmer and no Saka. Both are the early fixtures. You like my glasses? I look like Harry Potter now. Thanks. You like my final decisions video? Oh, I appreciate it. Final decisions was a video I've been trying to do for a while, but I just haven't had time. And now I have nothing else to do but make videos. Then I finally found a way. I don't necessarily... Yeah, I think there's, room to improve it. But... Yeah, I thought the first one came out well. We'll see how it goes over the next few weeks. Normally, if it's a Saturday deadline, I'll probably release it Friday afternoon. But Captain Tony or Saka, you're in 100k. It kind of comes down to what your risk, like how risky you like to play FPL. If you like a lot of risk, then Tony. If you don't like a lot of risk, then Saka. I don't think there's that much. I do prefer Tony, but I'm a very risk-averse manager, so maybe, I wouldn't do it if it was me, so I can't necessarily advise you to do it. But I do think Tony is a better straight swap for the two. Out of the two. This week. Nikolai, I'm very sorry. Porro, Son and Archer to Walker, Foden and Tony for a hit. Porro to Walker is not worth a hit. So just do Son and Foden to... Unless you're going to tell me you need that 0.1 from Porro to Walker. But I don't think I'd do that for a hit. Who to buy in place of Archer? Is Archer a priority sell? No. It's not a priority sell. But I don't think you can expect loads going forward. They have a risk of rotation now with some of the other options that they've signed. But they are playing a West Ham team who are absolutely full of injuries. So I wouldn't necessarily stress too much about it. This week, Archer's fine. I expect Sheffield United to score in that game against West Ham. I mean, I know I'm playing Areola, but he's better than Dubravka. And Areola and Archer could be involved. Am I sticking with 3 forwards going forward? To be honest, I'm sticking with a front 8 at the moment. I've got 8 in here. I probably will stick with 3 forwards for the time being, yes. Is it crazy to go for 3 Brighton players when I'm planning on doing a wild card? I mean, I don't love a wild card this week at all. Who would I sell Salah for next week? A cheap midfielder to allow me to do Haaland in. Bench Pau Torres or Solanke. I don't understand the benching of Solanke. He blanked against Spurs, but definitely should have got a return. And is playing against a Liverpool team who have no Salah. They have no Trent as well. So they just won't control games. And it's at Bournemouth. I just don't understand how people's teams are in such a strong position that benching Solanke is a possibility. Punt Tony, bring him in because I'm sure he's the best captain this week. I got money for bringing in Haaland if he's available. I don't mind it, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want to use my second transfer this week. So thinking of Son, Bowen, Livra, Archer to Gross, Foden, Stupinan, Tony. Son, Bowen, Livra, Archer. I mean, I don't hate the moves. It is a -8, but if you puts out more players, then it's worth it. Any news on Soufal? Not really, because they don't play. So we just have no press conference, so we don't know. Am I not concerned that Foden's not going to play all the games? Yeah, but the way he's looked, that even off the bench, like look at his minutes. Has he not started every game this season? Well, Alvarez has. That would be helpful. Foden, I think he started every game but one. Where he came on at he came off at half time because they beat Bournemouth 6-1. Oh, he didn't start Sheffield United in game week 3. Okay. I mean, it's still a pretty good track record of minutes, and he's playing out of his skin at the moment. Bowen to Foden for a -4 or play Archer. I do the move because you're going to want Bowen. You're going to want Foden. You've done Son to Gross and Taylor is your 11th player, no bench. Should I do Trent to a Stupinan or roll? Can you not do a different move? I don't love selling Trent. Porro or Colwell, you already have a Stupinan starting. Porro or Colwell. You already have a Stupinan starting. I'd probably play Porro over Colwell. Start Dubravka or Turner. I had this the other day. I probably would go Turner, but I don't love either of them. 9 game weeks, I know. 9 days for the whole game week. It's a very long game week. Yep, for sure. Garnacho or Richarlison. I'll probably go Garnacho because if Richarlison blanks in game week 26, he's got one less fixture. And it does a lot. Am I locked in on Saka captain? Yeah, I'm pretty sure my team is almost locked after I make the transfer. So, Pep said KDB is ready to start. Goodbye. No, because when they play twice a week in game week 23 and 22, he might be ready to start, but he's not necessarily ready to start twice in 3 days. Would I start Ferguson or Gusto? I'd probably play Ferguson and hope he starts, but I don't get the KDB love yet, no. No, I don't get the KDB love. You already have Pervis, Stupinan, Zinchenko, to anyone else for a hit, or Taylor Lascelles plays. I don't think you'll get any points out of Taylor or Lascelles, so I would sell Zinchenko for a hit. The list of top players to buy by position is rotating around in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Taylor news is important to you. I don't think we're going to get it. We've actually never get early Burnley team news. And to be honest, I doubt we're going to see Taylor in the lineup, to be honest. But yeah. Silver instead of Foden to afford Haaland. Fine. I just think he'll pay off the 4-point difference that it would be. Question in the link. I thank you for your super chat, but I will not be clicking random links sent. Already bought in a Stupinan and wonder whether to sell Salah to Foden. Right. Buying Foden is a good idea this week. Just because they that double, you'll want it at some point. And I think he's a good asset this week. And he's a good pick again in game week 22 because of Burnley at home. If you don't do it this week, you'll always be wondering when you're going to do that transfer. So I would buy Foden for a hit for pretty much any player this week. In Newcastle, they're going into this without Joe Linton. Foden will probably play the 10 again. He's been so good in that play. So for me, yes, I would do that. Buy Gross or Richarlison? Buy Gross or Richarlison? I'd buy Gross. He's higher up in my ranking. What about Haaland? Pep said that he's not expected to play. I'm at risk of losing value, yes, but information is more important than value. We learned that the hard way this week, that value is not the most important thing sometimes in FPL. And early transfers this week reminded us that chasing value is not necessarily the right thing. City play, I don't know if the fixtures are actually in here yet. So they play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. Who's guaranteed to play all three? I mean, in theory, no one is guaranteed to play all three. Haaland, if he's available, probably is. But yeah, Haaland's not going to feature. What transfers are made so far? Sorry, I got distracted. I haven't made any transfers so far. Son out to Foden is the plan at the moment. Save a transfer or make one to have one playable sub. Rest are injured? No. Roll the transfer is better than improving your bench. Is De Bruyne expected to start? He might start Newcastle, but we don't know if he'll start Burnley. He's just come back from injury. We've seen it happen before with him when he gets a niggle. So right now, I wouldn't go buying De Bruyne. -8 or wild cards. For me, wild card is only if you're taking a -12 and there's still issues in your squad, then you consider a wild card. I would not wild card unless you reach that issue. Unless you have that much issues in your team. All dressed up tonight. Am I going out? It's actually my brother's birthday today. I doubt he's watching. But happy birthday, Tom, if you are watching. But I am going out after this stream. Yes. How will I get Haaland in 22? I will probably sell Salah. I will probably sell Salah. What's most likely to keep a clean sheet this week is Arsenal with their fixtures. Someone's just like, look at the percentages chance of changing in price. Foden has hit 247%. Salah has hit minus 500% with Son. Son and Salah, I've never seen it this high. And that's crazy. Everyone's going to them. What about game week transfers in? Where are we? Where are we for game week transfers in? Almost 1 million for Estupiñán is crazy. 1.5 million for Palmer and Foden combined. Almost 3 million. I mean, just under 1 million people have bought De Bruyne. 800k for Bowen. I'm sure that's going up. That's definitely higher than it was a few days ago. People are still buying Bowen. Soufal, we don't really know why he missed out, why he's flagged as well. So, yeah, I can't help so much on there. Hinshelwood or Garnacho, Rashford will be back at some point. Rashford is back, and Garnacho is more nailed in that United team. He's playing very well at the moment. What about Doku? Grealish is back, so it's just a concern there. I know Focal bought Bowen, but why are people buying him since the injury news is what I mean. Like, that's gone up since we know he's injured. People are still buying him. Who will I be benching when I sell? I mean, I probably will still bench. I'll probably bench Garnacho, but the money is there to free up to get Haaland in. Son, Salah to Foden or Gross. Do both free transfers or just one? It depends. If it puts out 11, if you're putting out 10 without them, then yeah, do both. Would I start Bowen over Gordon just in case he starts? I mean, the thing is, he might come off the bench, but maybe you do that. Maybe, yeah. I don't expect we'll see him. Right, I've drank too much of this water, and I'm desperate for the loo. So we are 45 minutes to the deadline. I will be back in 2 minutes. The chat's here.
Huh.
What do I think about Ward-Prowse? What do you think about Ward-Prowse, H?
No,
don't like that one. No, I also wouldn't buy him. That West Ham team without...
Oh, look, they actually know my name. That's nice.
Yeah. Fiona does.
Hi, Fiona. It's very exciting. I'll leave you to it.
Thanks.
Have a lovely time.
Thanks. Yeah, Holly's just been lurking, waiting for me to leave, and then thought she'd go and take a time in the limelight, but didn't know how to unmute my mic. So
I'm fame hungry, Harry.
Are you? Is that it? Bench one of Bowen, Walker, or Porro. I mean, maybe bench Walker and just, I hope the Bowen features, but I don't think he will. What I think about, yeah, Will Prowse, no. Archer or Taylor. I don't think we're going to see Taylor play, so Archer. Archer to Pedro for a hit. I reckon Pedro outscores Archer over the next 2 for a hit. So, yeah, I probably would. Prioritize Bowen or Trent out. Bowen. Right, so to go back to my transfers, to anyone who's new to the stream, I haven't plugged likes or subscribes at all enough during this stream. So if you haven't already liked, we're close to 1,000 likes, so welcome. We're also going to put it in subscriber only mode. You literally have to subscribe for 1 second to be able to start using the chat. So what just happened? But yeah, if you haven't subscribed or liked, the goal of 100k by the end of the season is on. We also have some exciting content coming next week. I'm not going to spoil it. But we have some exciting stuff coming over the next couple of weeks, I hope. Would I play Gusto over a Villa defender? Yes. Play Gahey or take a -8 for another defender. Already took a -4. I mean, the only one I take a hit for is Estupiñán if you don't own him. Is Saka in for Bowen good? I mean, yes, especially if it helps you put out an extra player this week. Foden or Garnacho? Prefer Foden. The stream's down. No, it's not. You got me. It's all green lights my end. It says excellent connection. Excellent connection. Arch to Tony for a hit. Yeah, probably would. Oh, the site or the stream is lagging. Oh, chat's frozen on screen. Yeah, that happens all the time. Someone asked what I'm doing because some people follow my team. I mean, if anything, that makes me less likely to go and update on what my plans are this week. So I play Konza over Gusto. No, I play Gusto over Konza. Play Gusto over a Chelsea defender. Do you think Gusto will be rested? I doubt it. We don't have many games at the moment. Play Archer or move out Son for a hit. I'd move out Son for a hit. Yeah. Play, especially if those are transfers that you want to make over the next couple of weeks anyway. Just buy a mid that you want long term, like Foden or someone, because you'll want to do that transfer anyway. Bowen to Foden or Taylor to Estupiñán for a hit. Probably Foden, because again, Foden is more likely to be Foden's more likely to be an option that you want over the next few weeks. So when that double comes around, you'll be glad you did that, I think. So when do I plan on wildcarding? Not until game week 30 to 31. No, 30 to 33 is the plan. Because where is my graphic? Let me find it. I tweet too much. Here. So, after the blank in game week 29, there'll be a wildcard opportunity, a window from game week 30 to 33 before this double in game week 34. That will be very popular. So we're going to have an early chip strategy video next week, I think, on top of the exciting content. So the early thought is a wild card in game week 30 to 33. This is the prediction of what the schedule is going to look like. It's up on my Twitter. It's up on Instagram as well if you want to go and just save a copy of it. If anything changes, I will update the graphic as well, as and when things change. Would I do Solanke to... I wouldn't do Solanke to Tony now, but I am considering it in 25 because 25 he goes away to Newcastle and City at home. And it depends because Wolves have Brentford in the cup. So either Bournemouth will play in 29 or Brentford will. So if Tony's going to play in 29 and Solanke blanks, then yes, I'll make the switch. You did, sorry Simon, you did Mubama and Son to Foden and Raul. Is this valid? Yeah, I quite like it. I probably would have gone João Pedro over him, but I have to sell Salah to bring Haaland next week. That's valid. That's my plan as well. Start Trent or Porro. I mean, I'm just going to start Porro. Just going to start Porro. Tony for Mubama. Yes, if it gives an extra player out this week, then yes, I would. Sorry, I keep taking my phone off charge. Start Gusto or Udogi. Gusto's got the better fixture by far. So yeah, Gusto. And Nkunku to Tony for 11 players. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Anything cracking on Twitter for me to be aware of before I make my final move? Harry News Taylor's out for 2 months. I don't know where we've got that from. But I don't think Taylor will start tonight. Sorry, Jesse. Where did I miss your super chat? Who said I missed their super chat? Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, right there. Play trips and roll a spare transfer or sell Burn for playing mid. Only if you don't have Foden, because you'll want that mid later down the line. If you've got Foden, then just keep Burn and play Trippier. That's where I'm at anyway. I'm playing Trippier. I'm playing Gordon. I'm going to get Foden. I'm going to have 4 players in that game, and I'm not even going to be able to watch it because I think I'm out all day tomorrow, or out tomorrow evening at the Chelsea game and then afterwards. So how much do I have in the bank? Right now, not very much, 0.9. It will add about $1.5 million once I do that. Rolling the second transfer or upgrade Archer. I'd probably upgrade Archer because I expect João Pedro to outscore Archer this week. So you're already part of the way to paying the hit off. Start Mikalenko or Trippier. Probably Trippier. Any news on Taylor? Literally nothing on Taylor. Nothing on Taylor. As it said in the hot topics, no update on Taylor provided. What about Foden as captain? Newcastle is still a good side at home. They've been poor recently. And yes, they lost that Forest game at home. But their record at home is still very good. That's why there's no City players in my captaincy ranking this week. Dominic, thank you for joining as a mid-tier member. Welcome. Send me a message on Instagram or Twitter and I'll get added to all of the group chats. Haaland now red. Yes, Pep said that he's not available. Pep said he's not available. Should I use your transfer for Salah to Foden or play Souček from your bench and keep the extra transfer? I do the extra transfer just because Foden is an option you want long term anyway. So yes, I would do it. If you already had Foden, then I would say roll. Would I play Trent just in case? The game is a week away. But, so no, probably not. I'm going to wait till 6. The only reason I wait till 6 to do my transfers is because there is... You know, sometimes the Premier League do announcements of things at 6. Like, we've had double game weeks and stuff announced in the past. But they've already announced one today, so I'd be surprised. But, you know, that's when I can confirm my transfer. That's when I'm waiting for. For anyone wondering, Solanke or Ivan Toney? Solanke or Toney? I mean, if I was buying one this week, I didn't own either. I'd probably buy Tony first because of the double, but I wouldn't sell Solanke to Tony. 1 free transfer, Taylor to 11th player. Taylor was Stupinan on Mubama to Tony. I'd say Tony. I'd probably say Taylor to a Stupinan. I think that's the better long-term move. Why Garnacho and not Richarlison? Richarlison expected to blank in game week 26. Garnacho has Fulham at home that week. The fixtures are better and the money allows you to do a lot more. Saka or Foden for this week and also for the coming weeks till Salah and Haaland get back. Unless you want to captain Saka this week, Foden is a better long-term buy. Yeah, they've already announced double game week 25 for anyone who is unaware. They announced it today. Brentford Man City got added in. Tuesday, 20th of February. A double game week for Manchester City, who play Chelsea at home and Brentford at home. And a double game week for Brentford, who play Manchester City away and play Liverpool at home. Not that easy for them, but Ivan Toney has good records against both of them in the past. So, how is Foden not a minutes risk? I mean, he started almost every game this season. Yeah, he's a slight minutes risk, but he's looked so good. There's going to come a point where Foden is just nailed. Like, it will happen. Foden is good enough to play every week for City. So, maybe he is a minutes risk, but you have a double game week. So, you're then, like, if they have 3 games in a week instead of 2 games in a week, or if it's 2 games, you might not get both. But if there's 3, you're almost guaranteed he starts 2 of them and minutes in the third. So, and maybe he starts all 3. Why don't I sell Salah rather than Son to free up more money? Because there's a chance I do something different next week. There is a chance that next week I sell Saka instead of Salah to get them back. Whereas I know I don't want Son. Captain if you own Tony. It depends how much you like risk in FPL. I'm pretty boring, so I maybe would not do it. But I on like paper, I think he's a better pick. Tony's a better pick this week than Saka is. But is it differential enough just owning him in the first place? Like maybe you don't want to do too much and just happy that you've got Tony. Richarlison or Garnacho? Richarlison, I would need to get Garnacho back to afford Salah. I'd just go with Garnacho then. I'd just go to Garnacho. I don't love Richarlison as much as other people do. The data is really, really good on Richarlison. But part of me is just like Timo Werner, etc., etc. Is Bowen out? Almost certainly. Zinchenko, we just don't know. When will they announce the Liverpool double? So, the double in 25... The double in 25 is predicted to be announced after they reach the cup final, because Liverpool don't need to double in 25 if they don't beat Fulham in the cup. So there's no point in them announcing it until they see that Liverpool are in the cup final, because if Liverpool are not in the cup final, then Liverpool just play Luton as normal in game week 26. So I expect the cup final date, let me get Liverpool fixtures up. Sorry, the cup semi-final is Wednesday the 24th of January. I would expect we know by the Friday. Because they'll already be planning it, I imagine. So I imagine they would announce it either, the Wednesday or Thursday, if not the Friday. But they might also wait until after the FA Cup. Because if they get knocked out of the Cup, the game week after this Luton, there is a round of the Cup, I believe. So if they're not in the FA Cup, if both teams get knocked out of the FA Cup, then they could put it in there. So to be honest, they probably won't announce it until Liverpool win in the Cup, in the FA Cup. So we might not know until the Monday before the Tuesday deadline of game week 22. So had to think in order to get Haaland in by next week. My decision is Garnacho and Watkins or Gross and Tony. Garnacho and Watkins, I'd say. Oh, no, actually. Garnacho. Yeah, probably Garnacho and Watkins. When am I making the transfers? Closer to the deadline. Closer to the deadline. You know, just in case something happens. What time is it? In 11 minutes, I'll make a transfer. I'm interested. Does anyone... Ross was toying between knowing what to do with... Ross was toying with knowing what to do with Estupiñán or play Pau Torres. I imagine he'll just play Pau Torres now, but has he made a transfer? Not sure he's decided. The games look good for Gross. The Brighton fixtures are so good. The Brighton fixtures coming up are so good. That's why everyone's buying Estupiñán. It's a really weird thing. I would make a second transfer this week if I could take a hit instead of using my actual second free transfer. I know it doesn't make a difference in the long run, but it's a mentality thing that I'd rather take the hit the week that everyone else is taking the hit. So if I could do like Son to Foden and then do like Gabriel or like Trippier to Estupiñán for a hit and save the second free transfer, I'll be much more likely to do that than using up my second free transfer, if that makes sense, because I want the 2 free transfers in case something goes horribly wrong next week, but I also want to I'm happy to take the -4 this week. That probably doesn't make any sense at all, but it's just a mentality thing that I would rather do the second transfer this week. Pedro Neto, I mean, he's a fine option. He's just coming back from injury. They're without Hwang Hee-chan. I'm not sure I'd be doing it yet. You know, everyone's buying Estupiñán because of the good fixture this week. So, Bowen to Bernardo for a hit to have 11 starters if Taylor is out. Already have Foden, Saka, Richarlison, Palmer. I'd go to Garnacho. I'd go to Garnacho before Bernardo Silva. Just with De Bruyne coming back with all the mids, he might end up playing a little bit deeper. Bernardo, we've seen it at points. I remember City. I mean, I know they've played him at left back before. City, Liverpool last season, they played him at left back. I don't think that's going to happen, but we have seen him playing very deep, picking up the ball in deep positions. That it's possible that happens. It's possible that happens. Martinez or Areola? I'd probably play Martinez. Do I plan to save a chip for Gameweek 37 or do I fear the league will all be run? I mean, I do plan on playing a chip in 37 at the moment, but I'm going to look at chip strategy more in a video next week. So if you're not already, make sure you subscribe because chip strategy is where you beat your mini league rivals. I'm seeing people playing their wildcards this week and it might work out for them, but unless it's really well planned and has a bit of luck to go with it, it will be difficult for it to work out really well. So, yeah, chip strategy is what will, you know. Pelek, if you are still watching, you sent me a super chat when I got up to use the loo. So let me find it. Pelek Bar. Dubravka, Colwell, Porro, Trent, Carlos and Lascelles, Saka, Foden, Bowen, Palmer, Mubamas, Son and Lascelles out for Gross and Estupiñán for a hit. Sounds good. Yeah, 2 moves I like. You need a defender and a midfielder. So yes, I would do both of those. Bowen to Gross for a -4. If it allows you to... Hits are fine if it puts out an extra player this week. Bowen, hits are fine if it puts out an extra player this week. So, Salah to gross for free. Yeah. If it allows you to put out more players this week, definitely. Bench Bowen or Solanke. Bowen. Take a hit for a Stupinan or play Archer. Only if that defensive transfer is one you think you'll want to do next week anyway. I probably would. Armband to Watkins or Palmer. Palmer is higher up my ranking than Watkins is this week. No Liverpool this week is risky. I mean, it's not really when there's no Salah or Trent. I've got double Liverpool. I don't know who on earth I'd buy. And Liverpool will definitely be weaker without the two of them. So, yeah. I don't have much worries about not having any Liverpool. They're not going to hurt my rank very much unless Darwin goes crazy, which is possible. Son to Foden and Bowen to Gross Garnacho, or roll Bowen. Bowen doesn't play. You're down to Taylor. We'll then do both because I don't think Bowen or Taylor will get a minute combined. Is Van Teck 100% nailed? I do think so. Arch to Alvarez for a hit. Bought Foden and Richarlison this week. Archer predicted down tonight with my prices out of Haaland. Expect him to be back next game week. If you're starting Archer, I would do Archer to a forward for a hit this week, yeah. Would it be Alvarez? To be honest, I'd rather do Tony this week than Alvarez if you want to go straight back to Haaland. But the doubt is if Haaland's not back for Burnley at home, then you want Alvarez. So I can understand why you do Alvarez. Cash, Livramento, Son, and Salah would I wildcard -12. I mean, surely you can bench two of them. But I wouldn't wildcard. Wildcard, this is almost... I almost tweeted, this is the worst week of the season to wildcard. And then I'm like, okay, it's not the worst week of the season to wildcard. Game week 38 is worse. Game week 29 is worse. But it is in... outside of the last week of the season and actually wildcarding in a blank, this is the worst week of the season to wildcard. I think. Game week 22 is so much better for a wildcard because of all the information we get in game week 22 that we don't have now. Like, you're predicting, like, the cheap options that you're picking on your bench, the goalkeepers you're picking, might change depending on who stays in the FA Cup, who goes out of the Cup. It can work, and I think it could work good short term. And the City double being announced is a major boost for those who are wildcarding this week. And I suppose you just have to hope that, you know, Chelsea Spurs is the cup final. But it's tough. That is nonsense. I mean, fair enough. But I don't see the upside of wildcarding this week. I'd rather take a -8 or a -12 this week. But Pau Torres, yeah, the Spurs aren't in no cup. Yeah, but if Chelsea get to the cup final, Spurs blank in game week 26. Sorry, that's what I mean. Captain Palmer or Tony. I mean, again, it depends how much of a risky manager you are. If you like risk and you're happy that, you know, it might go wrong, then Tony. If not, then Tony's enough as a differential just owning him. So then Captain Palmer. It kind of depends on how you like to play this game. If it's just based off both, I probably prefer Tony as a captain this week out of the two. But it's pretty close, and it depends on how much risk you like in FPL. Which two should you start? You've got Trippier, Porro, Burn, and Gusto. Gusto definitely, and then probably I'd play Porro over Trippier. Should I use a second transfer on Archer? I probably would, because I think like João Pedro has a good chance of outscoring Archer by 4 this week. And then you've got you know, that 4-point hit that you take next week is already paid off this week. Am I making a transfer? Yeah, I've got 2 transfers, so I will be making 1 transfer. Gross or Garnacho? I mean, it depends what it allows you to do with the rest of your team and future moves. I prefer Gross to Garnacho, but I like Garnacho allows me to do a lot more than Gross does. Does a double game week announcement change anything for your opinions on Bernardo? Is Garnacho still in front as an 8 attacker? Yes, I just don't think you can get to Bernardo with the rest of your squad and then get to the players like Trent, Salah, Haaland, like all of these. If you've got Bernardo, I think Garnacho is going to be a real key piece to a lot of our teams over the next few weeks. So Charlie Taylor or leave Son? I'd sell Son because I don't think Charlie Taylor's going to play tonight. I don't have any information on it, but right. Dominic Solanke is won Premier League Player of the Month. Right, let's check anything being announced. Tweeted at 6 and then... We've got 15 minutes to go to the deadline. Saka over Palmer. Just as a Chelsea fan, I've just been burnt watching us play too many times and then watching that Chelsea team, that Arsenal team go away on, you know, their holidays and coming back with a bit of a vengeance after a nice week break whilst Palace have to play a cup replay. If I do Bowen to Gross, just got enough 11. Should I also do Archer to João Pedro or down Trent to Estupiñán? I mean, if you're starting Archer to João Pedro, I would do, yeah. Why don't I play 4 defenders? Because I'm going to sell Son. I still got 2 transfers. Right, it doesn't look like there's anything happening at 6, so looks like we're pretty good to go in confirming a transfer now, I think. So what they said on Haaland, I mean, Pep Guardiola said they're out. So would I sell Haaland? Probably not, but I can understand people who have held Haaland. You've been massively unfairly burnt, I'd say. Sorry, Peter. You have Bowen, Salah, and Son, Archer, Livramento with 1 free transfer. You don't have Saka, Foden, and Estupiñán. Do I sell Salah and Son or Saka and Foden? Salah and Son to Saka and Foden, yes, probably work. The only thing with Saka is you might like Saka back to Salah in a few weeks is probably something people are going to do. But can you not do Son and Bowen out to Saka and Foden? Prefer that. Pedro or Tony for Nkunku? I mean, Pedro is probably better for squad structure, but Tony has the double coming up now in 25, so. You have Watkins, Solanke and Alvarez. Shall I use a transfer to get in Tony this week or a roll like I've suggested all week? If you can roll, I probably would, unless you need to use both transfers. Right. I need to do my transfers. Yeah, I'm doing them now. I was answering a question. There's nothing cracking off anywhere. 1 free transfer. Play Botman and roll, no bench. Or sell Salah for Garnacho, benching Botman. I probably would roll because you might find another route next week. I'm not sure Garnacho is worth effectively a hit, which is what you'd... I mean, if Salah to Garnacho allows the Haaland move for free next week, then yeah, maybe I would do it. Sell Bowen. I probably would sell Bowen. I mean, I don't know the rest of your teams, but I probably would. Do I think Newcastle will keep a clean sheet? And surprisingly stunned City. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet at all. Zayed, thank you so much for the super chat again. Yeah, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I hope you have a good game week as well. And yeah, I don't know what to say every week when you donate these super chats, but I appreciate it a lot. And thank you for being a member as well. Your support of the channel is crazy. Sorry, you have a starting 11 worth another -4 Arch to Pedro. Yes, I probably would. Trent to a Estupiñán, Walker. Need to sell for 11. I'd go Estupiñán over Walker. The double is not good for them defensively. We can give after Zayed Super Chat, we can give away another football shirt at the end of the stream. So do stick around. We'll give away a football shirt of your choice to someone. But let's get the transfer done first. Son out, Foden in. So do... Foden in. Son out, Foden in. I think it's going to be very popular. The price changes suggest that everyone is doing this move, or Salah to Foden. Not Palmer captain, no. Pascal Gross or KDB. I wouldn't be buying KDB. You're starting Gusto. I think Gusto will start. The price changes. Areola predicted to go up. Tony, De Bruyne, Richarlison, Estupiñán, Palmer. Emerson, Luis Diaz. Foden, captain, not for me. Like, Newcastle is still too good at home. How long have we got? 10 minutes. Right. Let's get this confirmed, shall we? Then we'll do a giveaway at the end of the stream. Is Bowen a sell to field 11? Yes. Braithwaite to a Estupiñán for a hit? No, because he should play. They need to move this button again. I say it every week. Son to Foden. Right. We're in. We're in. Should I get Areola to field 11? If you don't have a goalkeeper, then yes. If you don't have 11, it's worth a transfer to get 11 players out this week. Whether it's an outfielder, whether it's a goalkeeper, whatever it is, it's worth it. It's worth it. Sorry. Gross, Richarlison or Garnacho. I mean, Gross, they're probably my favourite order, to be honest, but Garnacho might allow you to do Salah back in or Haaland back in easier next week. Let me just post my team. Alanga, we don't have any update on Alanga. Is this the final team? I think so. Walker, Konza and Gabriel. Who should I start? Walker, Konza or Gabriel? Who should I start? Probably Gabriel. They have the best clean sheet percentage this week. Son to Foden from -4 to start Chaël Taylor. Yes. I wouldn't be expecting Charlie Taylor to play today. I'd be surprised. The quotes just seemed like he just didn't want to rule them out because then that would give Luton a boost, but I don't think they'll start. Trippier to Estupiñán. I don't think it's worth it this week. I'd rather take the second transfer. Start Trippier or Solanke. Solanke, definitely. I don't understand why people are benching Solanke this week. Jesus has been pictured in training. Dubravka or Turner. I'd probably play Turner. Nkunku to Tony or Trent to Estupiñán. I'd keep Trent if I can this week. Start Doughty or Porro. I'd just play Doughty if you've got him for sure. Tom O'Connell, sorry. Gusto or Gordon. Probably Gusto this week. Salah out for Jota. I don't love Jota anymore. The minutes concern is just too big for me. He might play Bournemouth, but I don't see him starting game week 22 and 23 in the space of a few days. Lascelles won't start. Yeah, I doubt he starts. Bowen out for a -4. Bowen out for a -4. If it gives you an additional player, yes. Trippier or Pau Torres. I'd probably play Pau Torres over Trippier. Suggestions from mid in place of Diaby. Gross, Gusto. Those sorts of... those sorts of players. Archer to Alvarez. I mean, yes. I mean, if you've got nothing else to do, then yes. But suggestions for a mid, we've done those. My top 5 players to buy across all positions are in the top corner. So I'm going to leave the top players to buy questions because we only have 6 minutes to go to the deadline. Trippier or Walker, who would I start? I'd probably play Trippier. He's got more routes to points. Is bench boost worth saving? You have a good full bench next week. I imagine it's worth saving, yes. Do I plan to get Haaland? I'll probably sell Salah or I'll sell Saka next week. One of the two. Archer to Tony or any other striker, if so who? João Pedro is the other one. Would probably be my first 2 choices alongside Tony this week. Alvarez or Gross? Alvarez or Gross? I mean, Alvarez probably this week, but long-term Gross is definitely a better pick because Haaland will cause issues there. You're already -4 for Gross, another -4 Archer to Pedro. I think Pedro outscores Archer by 4 this week. The data would suggest the same. Am I putting Trent? Should I put, I mean... why am I keeping Trent? Because he'll be back soon. He won't be back reasonably soon. Tony in for -4 and captain, bench Gordon or Solanke. I wouldn't do that. I'd just play Gordon and Solanke. I'm not sure Tony's worth a hit. But if you've already done it, I'd bench Gordon before I bench Solanke. I'm not sure I'd captain him either. But Archer to Archer or Taylor. I mean, I'm not sure we're going to see Taylor start, so probably Archer. Porro or Cash. For Cash with a -4, probably yes, because I don't expect Cash to start either. You've started Trent over Porro. Trippier or Walker. Trippier. We need to do this. Do I start Trent? I mean, bench Porro or Virgil? Probably Porro. Nah, if you've got Solanke, then I'd bench Virgil. Livramento, Taylor, Trusty. Sell 1 for a -4 hit or sell 2 for a -8 hit. Replacements will be a stupid amount if I sell 1 and Walker if I sell for 2 defenders. I don't think I'd do Walker as long as you have 11 players out this week. If you've only got 10, then yeah, do the second one. Zinchenko or Gordon? I probably will play Zinchenko, and if he doesn't feature, then you get Gordon. KDB or Foden? Foden 100% over KDB. I wouldn't be buying KDB. If I had both Saka and Tony, would I punt on captain? It depends what type of risk manager you are. If you like risk in FPL, then captain Tony. If you're boring like me, then maybe don't. Trips or Gusto first on your bench? Gusto's a better pick than Trippier, so Archer to Tony for a -4 to cover Bowen probably would. Yeah, I think you outscore. I think Tony outscores Archer by 4 this week. Wouldn't be surprised. Max. Sorry, the chat is flying. I need to slow it down. Foden from Bowen for -4 because no subs. Yes, I would do that. Yes, I would. I would take a -4 if you've got Archer starting or you've got Charlie Taylor starting. To put out 11 players, I would take the -4 this week. Archer to Pedro or Diaby to Gross. I'd do Archer to Pedro, probably. No, I wouldn't. If you're starting both, then Archer to Pedro. But if you only have to start one, then do Diaby to Gross. Start Trippier or Garnacho. Probably Garnacho. Alvarez or Odegaard. Alvarez or Odegaard for captain. Probably Alvarez. Why did I bench Foden? Just because Salah's not going to play, so he'll just get subbed in. Why Saka captain? just got a nice break, and Crystal Palace don't have the break. Let's hope new glasses are good luck charm. Let's hope. No worries, Max. All good. 8 Nori to a Stupinan. For free, yeah. For free only. We have 1 minute to go to the deadline. So by the time you're hearing this, there will be 20 or so seconds till the deadline. So please make sure you go and check your teams. Should I start Trent over Porro, do we think? No, I'm just going to keep it as is. This is going to be the deadline. We have had the church bells outside. So that is, by the time you hear this, the deadline will have passed. Haaland is likely to play in game week 22, but we still don't know. Cool. That is going to be the deadline. We are going to do a quick little football shirt giveaway. So do hang around for a few minutes if you want to be entered into that. Then we will be ending the stream. So, what an interesting FPL game week. Now we've got 2.5 weeks until the next one. So that'll be fun. So. This is how we locked in for the week.
16-piece cookware sets? Who has room for that?
Don't need the advert. Thank you. So for the giveaway, we're going to use a keyword again. Oil. All you have to do is type Foden in the chat, and just the word Foden with a capital or without will be fine. And we will get that. I don't want to gift 5. Oh, it does this. It did it last time, and we'll have to do it again. It's going to gift 5 memberships, and it'll be whoever it gets first. The other 4 people will still get all the members' content for a month, but whoever is the first one in the list will be the person who gets it. So it's going to give out 5, and whoever is the first one it gives it to will get the football shirt. The other 4 will still get the members' content for a month, but yeah, you won't get the football shirt. So let me get everything I need. So where are we? Right. Oh, when I changed the slow mode earlier, I thought I changed it to 60 seconds. I only changed it to 6. Right, here we go. Gift 5. So it'll be the first of the 5. You can stop typing. Now. Let me put slow mode right up. And gift 5. So who's it going to be? Let me keep an eye out, and I will take a screenshot. I think Roger won before. So it will go to whoever's second. I'm sure Roger will be okay with that, which is Daniel Verholzer. Let me check that Roger has won before, which I think he has. I wonder what the percentage chances of that. Don't know what the percentage chances of that are, but I've taken a screenshot of the winners. Roger. Yeah, he got it. He's already won. So we'll give it to the person who came second, which is Daniel. For anyone interested, you get a membership as well, the others as well. So those of you who got the membership as well, congratulations. The streams are always, and the giveaways are always sponsored by Kitbag, and they are doing discounts at the moment as well. So if you want to go and get a football shirt for the Euros or for the new season, it's where I get all of my Chelsea shirts and things like that from as well. Anyone saw me wearing the retro Chelsea shirt over the past few weeks, that was where I got it from as well. Let me put slow mode back down, but congratulations as well to you. So 30 seconds slow mode. There we go. I just got to do the lottery. Right, there we go. Slow mode's off. You can stop saying Foden in the chat. What is the chance? So it's a 1 in 3,000. 3,000 times 3,000. 1 in 9 million chance. But I suppose we've done it like 15 times. But I mean, what are the chances? Anyway. That's a big water bottle. It is true. I'm trying to get to 2 liters of water drunk a day. Anyway, we are going to wrap up the stream there. Daniel's send me a message on Instagram or Twitter. Look on that link that I posted. I'll post it again if you want to get a look at what you want for your giveaway. And yeah, thank you all. It's a crazy week. We're going to have we're going to have a chip strategy video. We've got something else coming up as well next week. And then we are then going to do like team selection. We'll do another chip strategy once the FA Cup's out of the way. We might have a bit of a quieter over next weekend as well. And then all things will kick off going into Game Week 22. There'll be so much FPL. So enjoy a little week and a half of quiet while our teams play over the next couple of weeks. And then after the FA Cup, it will be real time for FPL to kick on. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a lovely evening. Good luck this week. Good luck to your captains. Good luck to your teams. Hopefully Phil Foden repays us quickly, those of us who brought him in this week. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely weekend. And I will see you all again very soon.